Good evening. Organ donation is the act of giving your organs to others who need them. It is mostly done after the person has passed away. However, it is not exclusively done in that way. It will be talked about post death in this speech. It is a selfless act and it can help save people's lives. Although some people will refrain from donating their organs, as some distrust the organ allocation system, it is more important to donate what organs you can, as you won't be needing them after you die. It is important we help the less fortunate live by giving them organs we are not using. To begin, my argument for organ donation is simple. It is a way to save someone's life. It is a selfless act with very minor repercussions, and it is what I plan to have done with my body when I pass away. An argument against organ donation would be a general mistrust for the Organ Donation Association and how they choose to disperse the organs to those who need them. I wasn't able to find anything on this, and I suspect it to be a view of paranoia. However, accompanying this, there is also those who wish to have an open casket funeral. My opinion on the matter is that everyone should be an organ donor. Can you imagine having to wait 3 to 5 years waiting for a transplant with the potential to never get it? That whole time, you need expensive machinery just to keep your body going. I know it must be a truly sad and painful thing for those who have to go through this, and for their loved ones. I'll be starting with my visual aid in this PowerPoint, the importance of organ donation. Let's see, I've already covered this and this. So here are some stats that I pulled up. As you can clearly see here, ages 0 to 60, there's a 30% chance that you may need an organ donation in your lifetime, or rather from that age. And then it increases to 40% after the age of 60. There are about 100,000 people currently waiting in line in the United States, only in the United States, that are waiting on organ transplants. There are currently 169 million organ donors in America. However, only about 3 out of 1,000 die in a way that allow for the deceased organ donation. That's why more willing donors are needed. People tend to have to wait 3 to 5 years on the organ transplant list, just waiting for a donation, waiting for something that's viable to them. And during that whole time, they have to be kept on expensive machinery. This is saying that you need, say, a heart. You would have to be kept on very particular right or left ventricle type of machine. There are many potential things that could go wrong with hearts or any of your organs. How long do people live after certain transplants? Well, with your heart transplants, you're expecting another 10 years on your life where you could have died as soon as you needed that transplant. However, through the expensive machinery, you can keep you alive until you get to your transplant, and then you can get 10 years on top of that. This is assuming that for every single one of these. So for those who need kidney, they could last 12 more years after the transplant. They could last more or less. Lung is we're still working on lung, obviously. There's a lot of progress that's being made in that field. However, for 5 years, there's a 44% chance that you'll live 5 years after your lung transplant. And for your liver transplant, you can get up to 12 years afterwards. And I think that's amazing that science has been able to come so far to be able to add time on your life that you would not have had otherwise. In conclusion, some people will refrain from donating their organs from the distrust of the organ allocation system. However, it's more important to donate what organs you can, as you won't be needing them. It is important that we help the less fortunate by giving them organs we're not using. This is a problem that you can have a real impact on fixing. While it isn't guaranteed you'll help someone right away, there's a very high chance that you can give someone a second chance at life with no real cost to yourself. There are few opportunities in life that allow you to help someone as this much for this little. While I can understand those who wish to have an open casket funeral, I have a very hard time understanding those who are paranoid about this. It feels like an excuse, and I strongly encourage you to further research this if your opinion is not swayed by my presentation, or rather my speech. Organ donation can save lives. It gives the less fortunate another chance, and I strongly implore you to become an organ donor.